Good day, this is the Mara Eye, and we are going today to discuss about the topic politics of the country Kenya as per now, since the inauguration of the fifth government, the fifth administration in this Republic of Kenya. My name is Mectarius Kipketer, and today we are having a host of political analysts who are going to give us their view about the current state of politics in Kenya. Just to begin, I will introduce them. I will allow them to introduce themselves, and I start from here.
Hello, my name is Andai Mstav, and I'm a political analyst as well as a journalist.
Okay, my name is Victor Koech, and I'm political analyst.
Thank you. My name is Vivian Oliaula, a political analyst as well as a journalist.
Yes, my name is Wanyama Kennedy, a political analyst.
My name is Audrey Aloch, a political analyst and as well as a practicing journalist.
Okay, my name is Cyprian Msila. I'm also in the matters of politics and also a media group. Thank you.
We hope we are going to have a candid discussion about the politics of the country, Kenya. And just to begin with, I would like to know, with a yes or no, do you believe in the current state of administration, if indeed it is working on the agenda that it promised its citizens when it was coming into power? Yes or no? Do you believe?
Yes, I do believe.
No.
No.
I don't believe at all.
We have a set of our analysts who are going to give us a diverse view according to their responses. One side leaning on an opinion that the government is not doing whatever it promised to do, and one side is on the opinion that the government is doing exactly what it promised to do. One of the agenda that was promised by our government was that it was going to deal with the economy. And just as how you are a citizen of this country, the economy might seem to be okay with some plot of people, whereas it is not okay with other people. What is your view about the economy of the Republic of Kenya? Bwana Kennedy.
Yeah, thank you. The economy of Kenya, by the time now, I can say it's not good. It cannot favor a local mwananchi. The prices of bidhaa zimeenda juu sana na the hike of price, so a local person cannot afford even a bucket of unga to feed the family. The purchase of cooking oil is also high. Even a local person putting food on table for his children or for his family is a problem.
What is your view, Bwana Koech?
I think the current government is doing much better compared to that one of Uhuru Kenyatta. As per now, tukiangalia agenda ambazo Rais William Ruto alitoa hapo awali kabla ya kuingia ofisini, aliweza kuzungumzia mambo mengi ikiwemo ile ya kuhakikisha kwamba economy of the country is inakuja katikati. Na cha kwanza ni kama ile ya kurudisha bei ya mbolea. Kabla aingie serikalini, mbolea ilikuwa shilingi 7,000. Wakati aliingia wiki moja hii kuisha, alirudisha hadi shilingi 3,500. Nyingine tunaweza angalia, aliahidi kwamba akiingia serikali siku ya itakayofuata atahakikisha ameapisha majaji 6 ambao walikuwa wamekanwa na rais ambaye amestaafu Uhuru.
If we are going to measure only on the economy, it might not touch on the procedures and the operation of the judiciary. We are talking of the economy. Yes, someone might say that the economy is being touched on, but now this you're talking of a long-term gain, which is of fertilizer. We mean of the current economy. What is going on right now? Is the economy, is that fertilizer inflating something on the citizen as per now, or is it not doing something for the citizen? That might be my question. Maybe we get a view from Cyprian.
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe to challenge my colleague Koech. You know, we have talked of a reduction of the price of the fertilizer. Yes, it has been done. In fact, it was an immediate action that the president did, right?
Yes.
Now, we want to compare. For example, right now, a lot of counties, regions are experiencing drought.
Yes.
It has reduced the fertilizer price. What is it helping other regions that are affected with drought?
Ukiona
The-
hivi
wait.
karibuni
Wait, listen, because you've seen a lot of regions are being affected by drought, and he has reduced the price of fertilizer. It's not helping much of the local mwananchi. To add on that, most regions are not practicing farming at the moment. There are very few regions that are practicing farming. So fertilizer is not of much importance to them. Another thing, the president must or should have reduced the prices of local commodities, unga, sukari, chumvi. Now, if the local commodities are at high price, or rather are at the peak, how are we going to handle the situation? I don't think if fertilizer is of much importance to us. We want the government to ensure that the local commodities have been reduced. The unga that he talked about, the cooking oil, we want to see them at a very low end of the price.
No hard feelings on that. Maybe when we get to Ustad, what do you have? Let's give others also to respond to this.
Actually, I'll begin by saying that Kenya is an agricultural country, and agriculture is the backbone of our economy. So the president thought it wise to reduce the prices of fertilizer first before going into the commodities. Because if we have the fertilizer, then our soil will be rich, and we'll be able to grow crops that when we produce our own crops as a country, then we can be able to feed ourselves. And another thing, we cannot expect the president to resuscitate the economy because inflation has been everywhere. You remember the Ukraine and Russia war, it made the inflation not only in Kenya or in Africa for that matter, even other continents, as Europe, world of continents, the inflation was also there. It was high. So the inflation was high when the other government was there, the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, led by him. So you cannot expect a new government to resuscitate the economy right away because unajua unaambiwa kwamba mwana utangulia anatambaa anaanza kusota sasa anaanza kutembea.
But we are not eating fertilizer. As much as he has reduced the fertilizer, yes, and I'm very happy with the same. But hatukuli mbolea. Acha aanze na kupunguza unga, wacha aanze na kupunguza mafuta. Hata kama ni nzuri ndio tunakula mbolea. Are you eating fertilizer at the moment?
Currently no,
But now that's where my point is now.
Whatever I'm talking to you, cannot run on dry pockets as a country.
Yeah.
So the government needs money.
But you remember,
And that's why
the same person you're talking about complained that Uhuru was complaining about the Russia war. You are talking of the Russia war that is also complaining. Na alisema kwamba Russia war haihusiana na chochote. Sasa mbona sasa anaanza kusema Russia inahusiana na uchumi wa nchi? You know, you are confusing us and we need to make our
Politics is starting.
Yes.
Politics is starting. And we know in Kenya, use whatever words you use to sweeten the mouths of the voters. So
I get it. No,
he's trying.
I'm trying to get the point of Mr. Ustad that the government might have used the wrong ideologies to get into power, which maybe the president in his own capacity might be able to answer that. That we might be on. Moving on next, about the economy, we have talked about it. Moving on next, we have seen the president give a number of names of people to take over the government ministries as cabinet secretaries and permanent secretaries. To your own view, I will start with you, Madam Audrey. To your own view, do you think that it is right for the president or any sitting government to take in cabinet secretaries outside of ministries or areas of expertise to take over key government ministries which they are not or they do not have proper knowledge about the ministries? Do you think that is right?
For me, it's not right because it's like bringing a waitress, maybe, who's not even confused government, and the picture itself is not right for our country.
individual?
I think it's his own term. We must first accept he's a new elect president. He comes in with his own term. For him, he thinks that change is a good thing, and we all know that change is a good thing. So he sees that taking very new individuals who are not part of the government will at least reduce these cases of corruption, because let's just be honest, the usual ones, the ones who you are so calling experienced, they're also experienced in the corruption and cartel things. So the new ones will have little experience in those corruption and cartel things. So by the time they get to a grip of how to do the corruption and the other things, they would have done more in developing the country.
What do you think about the involvement of technocrats into cabinet ministries instead of taking in politicians into the cabinet ministries?
I think if William Ruto is trying to at least to carry forward this country by taking the people who know more about growing the country. Serikali ya naibu Rais William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua wanajaribu kuhakikisha kwamba hii cabinet ambayo ilichaguliwa itahakikisha maendeleo. Ukiona kama vile huyo waziri wa kilimo ameanza mambo kadhaa ambayo itahakikisha kwamba Kenya inakuwa in agriculture.
Just to add on that, as we all know, politicians have ambition, and for one to enter into politics, you have a political gain, or you have a political ambition to achieve. You do not just enter into politics just because of a leadership position. There are opportunities you are aiming at. There are chances you want to get. But for these technocrats, they see it as a job or as an opportunity given to them to show their worth, to show their potential, not to gain from it. They want also to be exposed, so they'll concentrate on showing their potential than corrupting our country. So by the time they get a hunch about how the government works, how one gains more from the government than his potential, they would have done a good job for the country.
On another topic, a sitting government has to be on check by the opposition, and we are having an opposition in the Republic that is experiencing opinion about how it is working. Do you think, Bwana Kennedy Wanyama, that the current opposition is keeping the government in check?
Yeah, the current opposition is and will keep the government in check. Mainly because, the opposition led by Raila Amolo Odinga, I think that is the best work Raila can do, being in a position. Not that I'm saying people will not vote him anytime he wants to vie for an election as a new president. But being an opposition leader, I think Raila can check on the government works and expenditure very well. And recently, we have seen Kalonzo Musyoka is also following the footsteps of Raila Amolo Odinga. So by now, we cannot say that they have done more because the government is still young and it's just some few days old in government. So as the day goes by, we will see, and they will proceed with their work, I think, very well.
You mentioned about Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila, the former rhetoric that it is the last bullet about Raila Amolo Odinga. You mentioned about Kalonzo Musyoka. Is it a show that maybe Raila might be leaving the stage of politics in terms of being the opposition leader, leaving the mantle to Kalonzo Musyoka? Can it be interpreted in that way?
It might be, but I think he will not leave just urgently. But opposition and getting into government, you have to be somebody who's tough.
That is your own view?
Yeah, that is my view. Then I think he's trying to build Kalonzo. As you see, Kalonzo is seen like a person who is a watermelon. Sorry, watermelon is So I think he's trying to build, to navigate into those circumstances, hard times, sweet times, so that he can also be a leader who many people in Kenya will depend on in future.
Bwana Cyprian, what is your view about the current opposition?
You know, sometimes I wonder you talk about the last bullet. We are here to supply more bullets. We will supply more bullets. For your information, we are supplying more bullets for this old man. Wanasema paka mzee pia una maziwa. Until we are in the state house, we will support this man, despite playing the very important role of opposition leader. But we should just make this old man go into the state house. He is the only man who can save this country. You can see for the promises that he made while campaigning, that the same promises these gentlemen are coming with it after being sworn in. So meaning this is the right person. We are just trying to swing him away from the right position. But this is the man. And I know by 2027, we are coming back very strongly than never before.
You are coming back with the same man on the ticket, or you are thinking otherwise?
We are coming up with another outline that you might be surprised, because we have seen all the loopholes, the policies that have been this government and the last government, and the way you are coming, my friend, be cautioned.
It is in the public domain that maybe to some point that the Azimio leader might be losing a lot of support especially from his backyard and especially from his voters. Do you think that is correct, or he's still holding firm to his political support?
You know, they're saying that maybe he's losing some support, some stronghold support. It's not true, because the old man has just hibernated. You know, after being the second run-up, he was just shocked. Of course, we were very shocked. That's why he just relaxed. But the moment the whistle will be blown, 2027, we will come back again strongly, because we will never get tired of supporting this man. He's the only man who can save Kenya, not these cheeky boys you see in the government.
That is that should be off record to say over cheeky boys, because that is a sitting president in power, and maybe we could say Baba the Sixth.
Yes,
that is what you mean.
Yeah, Baba the Sixth.
Yeah. Lastly, what is your take about the opposition in the country?
Actually, I've always loved the opposition side. He's very brilliant. He has tactics. He's tactical, and that guy is strong. He's a good what can I say? He's a good critic of the government. So I've always liked the old man on the opposition side. And in fact, I wouldn't like to say him leave anytime soon. But now not as a sitting president. I just love to see him back, still on the opposition. As Cyprian has said, let them supply more bullets, lakini abaki kule kule tu juu. Raila works best as an opposition leader. Yeah, that's my take.
Bwana Koech would lynch me if I do not give him a chance to respond on this. What do you say about the opposition in the country?
Hakika mimi nadhani opposition inafanya vizuri kwa taifa hili, na nadhani ilikuwa ni nafasi yao nzuri ya kuwa opposition. Hakika sidhani kama walikuwa nafaa kuwa kwenye serikali. Ukiona wako wazuri sana kwa kulalamika upande wa pili kuliko wakiwa kwenye serikali. Waendelee vivyo hivyo, naona pia Kalonzo anakuja vizuri, na hiyo ndio inatakikana kwenye taifa letu.
We shall take a break. Be sure to catch us at the other end of the break. How I wish you would welcome back to our discussion on the topic politics in the country Kenya. I wish you would be able to know what happened just when we went off air, and indeed there has been a great discussion in our studios that have really made the studio to be on fire. We shall continue with our topic, and the next topic, our guests, before the coming in or the inauguration of the Ruto administration, the Uhuru Kenyatta administration received a number of court injunctions on several issues. One of them was the creation of the CAS post. The other was about the transfers of key government agencies especially into the military. And in the time of campaign, the deputy president by then, who is now the current president, really castigated the moves of the then president Uhuru Kenyatta, and he is now in power. What do you think of him that he has not reverted or obeyed the court orders that were offered at the Uhuru administration by then? What do you think about the nature of the person of the deputy president? Does he really mean what he said when he was in the campaigns, or he is just using it as a campaign tool?
On this, I'll be very brief. I'll just say that we need to talk to China. Maybe it's about to talk to China. Or maybe there's other thing that we do. And then in the long run, actually, because after all, it's the government. It's not the court. So if they
If you are telling me that you are giving time, whereas the post like for a CS, there is an advertisement for those who are willing to occupy the offices of the CS to apply for it. Whereas he was not for the position to be in government.
So you see, this is a government, I'd say, is made up of not only one single person, or not only one arm. So they'll make maybe negotiations, or they'll do discussions. As president,
But a court injunction has no negotiation about it.
if
Simran,
maybe,
what do you think about it? Because a court case has no negotiation about should we go back to the courts to negotiate on whatever was deliberated on the issue. For example, the transfer of the meat commission from the agriculture ministry to the ministry of to the defense ministry headed by the military. And in fact, today the military and the Ministry of Agriculture have just concluded a pact that they are going to work together and continue with whatever the then President Uhuru Kenyatta did by issuing the meat commission to be transferred to the military. Do you think that is still what the citizens expect for a person of the president? Whereas when he was in the campaigns, he did not want the military to take over the administration of the meat commission. But when he comes into power, he now wants the meat commission to be in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and for them to work together. Do you think that the president is legitimate about his agenda for the state?
Thank you. May I begin by saying this? There are those agendas that we make while in the field. But when you come on the office or rather on the table, they are very difficult to implement. Our president is not and will never obey the court. For example,
Which one are you speaking of? The former or the
the
current?
president now, it's very difficult for me to pronounce him as the president because I still see him as the deputy. So the issue is, while in the last regime, he didn't want the same to happen. But once he took power, he's ensuring that the two mingle together. That means that guy, or rather that president, is not after people. He's after personal interest. Another thing is about the court we talked about. The president is very sharp. May I congratulate him for this? Because he's now funding the court. And the moment Kenyans, rather leaders in Kenya, the moment unawapea pesa TV, unaonyesha kwamba unaweza wasaidia, unaweza pea koti pesa ikajisimamia, that's the end of those people. They will never rule anything against you. And that's why the president is very sharp. And they realize ile kitu atapea. Judge Martha Koome will eat very well. And in case of anything, landing in the court, abusing maybe the president, it will never be ruled against the president. Thank you.
What do you say of it, Bwana Kennedy?
I think the government and every arm of government has powers whatever task is tasked of him. And if in case judiciary says this person or these things are not well, or they are not supposed to be done to Kenyans, for instance, the 6 judges that were put off by the judiciary. But then the president, you come, even if you are not sat on the table with the judiciary.
I beg to correct you. The 6 judges they lacked approval by the president, but they were recommended by the Judicial Service Commission, which is not by the court. So
Yes.
the court was correct that they were to be sworn in by the former president. So for this fact, the then president Uhuru Kenyatta was the one at fault in his own.
I don't think if
president.
Kenyatta personally failed to appoint them because of personal gains or personal reasons.
Which he was to lay them if there was something, if it be moral or whatever that meant that led him not to appoint the judges, but he did not lay out the facts to say that they were morally or unfit for the job.
Okay, I'm not sure if even Ruto went to wonders why did he not appoint these people for which reasons. So he just decided because they were appointed that my former president Kenyatta failed to give them a leeway to start. He just said let them continue with working. But I think that did not give a good picture to us citizens. He could have took some time, sat down with maybe the outgoing government, asked why did Uhuru Kenyatta fail to give these people a chance to work for Kenyans. Then after there, he would have maybe given them, after there then, Ruto, then he could have given them a chance to start working for Kenyans, or appoint other people to work for Kenya. Kenya will have more than 40 million. 6 people cannot just put us at a stack for some few months or some long time.
You seem to be contradicting yourself. In one way you say that the 6 might have just led the judiciary not to perform its functions correctly because they were not appointed. Now you come also on the other side blaming the current government, which was not in power by then to actualize the appointment of the 6 judges.
Maybe to support him, to just help him make things clear. Okay.
That was his point. I'll go to Vivian, of which I think that she might be in view that the president must be morally right. That is my presumption.
Okay, thank you. As you have said, the 6 judges who have failed to be appointed by the president asked. The president was given a chance to explain himself why he failed to assign them their offices, but he failed to give out his explanation. He failed to give out his explanation, and thus we concluded it was personal. What other reasons do we have?
What of the current president?
Of the current president?
Of other court injunctions that have been issued whereas he has not respected them, though they happened in the previous regime.
Well, I can say, as you know, in the previous regime, they were against each other. They were not supporting each other.
Why should he not stop the creation of the CS positions? And why should he not revert the...
I can say that we all know politics is a game, and we have gains and profits to earn. So he's using his mind. I cannot have a solid reason as to why he's doing whatever he's doing and get you posted. I don't have a solid reason.
Which point does it explain about the deputy president? Is he a realistic president or a realistic man to trust on his agenda, or when he gets whatever he wants, he will just abolish whatever he just said he wants?
Let's just say he's brilliant and intelligent enough to get his way.
That is a very clear response from a staunch supporter of the president. What will you say about it?
before I say my point, I want to say that I think my friend here, Cyprian and Wanyama, are talking much of propaganda. How do you think government, judiciary will run well without being funded? Serikali lazima ihakikishe kwamba judiciary inajikimu kifedha ndio shughuli zake ziendelee. Hakuna venye unaweza sema serikali ikiwapa judiciary pesa ya kujiendeleza ni kufund ndio wamsaidie baadaye. Hapo nazodani si vizuri. Lazima judiciary ipewe pesa ambayo itaendeleza kama hawa majaji sita ambao walikuwa wamekataliwa na serikali iliyopita. Hiyo ni kuhujumu kazi za judiciary. Judiciary is independent. Yeah.
What do you have to say, Audrey?
For me, I think procrastination and excuses are when Ruto wanted the seat in his government, they knew very well what they wanted and they were doing it. So it's like, for example, I'm very sure, you know, like the president is leading the country as a whole, and then we have the government who are the presidents of the counties. There are counties that were messed up by former governors, and new governors have come in and they found them messy and they're trying to fix them with what they have and they're not complaining. So Ruto should take up his actions and do what is supposed to be done. And they should stop making excuses. And then on the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, yeah, he fixed to be a leader, but for me, not a Kenyan leader.
That should be taken off record because it is a comment that does not need to be aired. Or maybe let's assume it is her own personal view about the deputy president. Just about to wrap up our discussion, I would request you to give us what is your presumption of whatever you think the Ruto administration is going to do, considering that we have spent a good time since they took power, and there were several promises which were given about the first 100 days. What was to be 100 days? We're almost reaching the deadline. Do you have any hope of anything that might go on or anything that might be fulfilled in the Ruto administration? What do you think that the Ruto administration, is it heading the right direction, or if there is no completion of whatever they promised in their 100 days, is there any chance that in the remaining time of over 4 years that there is anything that is going to take place? Let me begin from the side that is supposedly the opposition side, the Ruto administration.
It's not opposition, it's only that time has not yet arrived. Okay, may you allow me say this? Kenyans, and be aware of this, you voted in tourists, you never voted in leaders. There is a time that when the DP was in Rwanda, the president was in Uganda, and the country is not going to lead. You remember that? Thank you. Kenyans, you voted in, and I'm repeating, you voted in tourists. The second thing, the country is led by people who have fake promises, who are promised that in the government will have Mama Mboga. I don't see even there is Mama Mboga. Youths, you've seen.
They claim there's Ababu Namwamba in government, there's Alfred Mutua.
As a Mama Mboga, because Ababu Namwamba has been, and he was in government for some few years. That's not a Mama Mboga. That's very many years. So that's not a hustler person. That is somebody who has created a domain. Ametengeneza imaya yake ya fedha. So ile mtu si hustler. Tuambiane ukweli. So kitu tunasema, na nataka kuambia Wakenya wasikize, government hii serikali mlichagua watalii, mlichagua watu ambao wana ahadi ambao si za kweli. Sasa hivi bado tunanunua unga zaidi ya shilingi 200. Tuliambiwa kwamba tutakuwa na hustler fund za bure, sasa hivi tunaambiwa ni za kulipa. Ni sawa, lakini Wakenya mjue kwamba na bado.
Audrey, what do you have to say about it?
Well, actually for me, okay, wanasema mtoto akilia wewe mpe. The good thing about Kenya is that they mess up and then later cry on, you see. So I think
what do you say, Bwana Kennedy?
Yeah, I can say the youths here, there's a famous chant saying, mapema ndio best. So, these 40 days of government, we should have seen something in action that shows that in the coming some 4 years, there will be some fruits to harvest.
But there's fertilizer.
Fertilizer is not something that will affect the economy instantly. We need something that will affect the economy instantly. The youths positively and instantly. Positively but not instant.
Yeah, it's a progress. It's a long-term thing. We need something.
We needed him to initiate something that will affect the people effectively and instantly. So, as you know, Kenya, we are saying there's some 4 years for the government to work. After 2 years, the campaign will start. There will be no time for maendeleo again. So, Kenyans, let's try to up our minds and choose leaders who are responsible and can help grow our economy.
So that is 2027. What do you think about that figure?
First of all, as long as the election and the president and the deputy and all is sworn in, they are no longer tourists or whatever, they are leaders, whether you like it or not. So you have to accept that fact first before you move on with life. They are leaders, whether you like it or not, and they are our leaders. We should accept that fact first. And again, and I quote, Stephen said, wametengeneza himaya yao ya fedha. For when I'll use South Soul song, before our glory, where we were in the Kitambo, before that time we come into Tukakua, these famous people. You never knew, you don't know our story. We struggled. So where's the couple kusema huyu ametengeneza na wewe tengeneza yako. Don't just say that because Ruto said I'm also a hustler, you are a hustler, we work together. Kwa akili yako umekuwa kusema hustler is voted in, we'll work together as a hustler. He hustled for himself. You are not there when he was hustling. Now he's settled. When we also show our efforts as ourselves, the government will recognize and say, this person is working, let me help you and move you to another level. Not just saying, hustler funds to whatever. God, no one will give you, no one will feed you. As I was saying, we need to accept our leaders. After election, we need to pull down our egos and rights and everything, and accept the ongoing government and work with it, whether it favors us or not, because we have to live and our living standards continues and life continues after elections. And after some time we have another elections and we have another chance. So let's work together and focus on achieving more than criticizing the current government or the president or any other member of the government.
Okay, thank you for giving me another chance. Ningetaka kwanza kujibu Cyprian hapo hivi. Alisema hatukuchagua rais na hatuna viongozi. Tulichagua watalii. Si bora kusema hivyo, lakini anaenda kutafuta uhusiano mzuri baina ya Kenya na mataifa mengine. Alienda Ethiopia akafungua kampuni ya Safaricom ambayo iko na uhusiano na uchumi ya Kenya. Pia Uganda alienda mambo na kilimo. Najua taifa hii ya Kenya na Uganda wanasaidiana kilimo. Labda wanunue mahindi kutoka Kenya wanunue maziwa kutoka huko. Hiyo ni kutafuta uhusiano bora baina ya Kenya na mataifa mengine. Na kufikia sasa niko na imani na serikali ya sasa. Amefanya makubwa kuanzia ingine takriban siku 40 na mambo yamefanya kama serikali yenye ilipita ya Uhuru walihamisha huduma za bandari kutoka Mombasa hadi Nairobi. Na iliweza Wakenya wengi walipoteza kazi Mombasa. Na venye imerudishwa huko hivyo angalau watapata riziki yao. Kuna nyingine hapa hivi. Amanza ugavi wa chakula. Umeona kwa hii kaunti ambazo zinakumbwa na ukame, amekuwa kigawa chakula. Pia bei ya mbolea ndio unaona amerudisha chini. Na tunaendelea kuwa na matumaini na uongozi wake. Bado masiku ijefika tuongojea. Alafu serikali ilipita uliona kwa akaunti ya Kenya ilikuwa na only 93 billion. treasury iliweza kuweka wazi wakati serikali ilikuwa inaingia only 93 billion. Sasa tumpe time, mambo itakuwa mazuri. Niko na imani na serikali ya Ruto na wataweza kupeleka Kenya mbele.
Yes, one Ustadh, what is your thought on it?
I want to confirm this. I'll say that I believe in the government. Before the term elapses, I know that they have done much for the country, the nation. Because I also believe in the opposition. Because if the opposition, if the government will be going astray, then the opposition will be there to pinpoint the areas and watajaribu kuwakaza sana. Ijapokuwa wanasema mapema ndio best siku zote, lakini pia vitu vizuri havitaki haraka. Just to wrap up as a parting shot, I would like to say that Azimio letu sote ni Kenya kwanza. That's when I need to
Yeah, we have come to the end of our topic, our discussion, and it has been a candid discussion with our very own Ustadh Adai, Raij, Vivian, Kennedy Wanyama, Audrey, and Cyprian Silva. And we have had a discussion. For some comments, they might be kept to be of personal views, but indeed